Yes, today I'm going to start with a topic called phylum Platyhelminthes. And this is the, I think we have completed on the animal kingdom. We have completed about phylum Porifera, phylum Nidaria, phylum Ctenophora, and the next phylum is phylum Platyhelminthes. So let us start with a topic called phylum Platyhelminthes. So I think the basic idea is clear to you. So with that particular idea, let us start with the phylum Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Now, when we talk about Platyhelminthes, let us first break the term Platyhelminthes. What is the meaning? The term has come from two words. One is platy and one is helminthes. So this word has come from, platyhelminthes has come from two words. Platy means what? Platy means flat. And helminthes has come from the term, come on, helminthology. What is that? The study of worms. The study of worms. So what is the word meaning of the term? Flat. The word meaning of the term platyhelminthes is what? Flatworm. So this is flatworm. So what kind of flat are they? What kind of flat are they? So they are flat-like. They are dorso-ventrally flattened. Consider this is tortoise or turtle. Tortoise. Fine. Tortoise is a reptile. And say for example, अगर हम उस पे हथौड़ा मार देते हैं, तो what is going to happen? If you hammer on this part of the turtle or tortoise is dorsal carapace. So how to remember carapace? How to remember which is dorsal side, which is ventral side? So this is dorsal carapace. The outer shell is called dorsal carapace. And this flat portion, which is close towards the earth, is called ventral plastron. This is what? Ventral plastron. So this is dorsal carapace and this is ventral plastron. So ऊपर dorsal है, नीचे क्या है? Ventral है. So if we strike this, it is going to become what? Remember Tom and Jerry? What happens if anything goes above them, passes by them? What happens to their body? Body ta কেমন হয়ে যায়? Plate এর মতন হয়ে যায়? Now think about, the body is going to just become like a plate. So this is now the tortoise. So it has become what? Dorso-ventrally flattened. So what kind of flatworms? They are dorso-ventrally flattened body. Dorso-ventrally flattened body. So they have got dorso-ventrally flattened body. So that is very, very important about them. So this phylum Platyhelminthes, they can be of two different types. Their shape can be of two different shape. The first shape is they can be leaf-like. They can be leaf-like, or they can be leaf-like, or they can be ribbon-like or tape-like. Tape or ribbon-like. So they can be two different shape of them. One is leaf-like, other one can be of tape-like. So leaf-like platyhelminthes or tape-like platyhelminthes. Yes, Aishani, tell me. Any idea about a leaf-like structure? Is there in your book? A leaf-like structure, just let me show you that. Yes, liver fluke is leaf-like. See in your NCERT book. Yes, see in your NCERT. In NCERT, there are two figures being given. Yes, one is okay, one is liver fluke. You see, this is Aschelminthes. Now this is liver fluke. This is a leaf-like structure. This is a leaf-like structure. This is the leaf-like structure, which we call it as leaf-like structure, which is fasciola, fasciola hepatica. Fasciola hepatica. This is a liver fluke. And the shape of this is leaf-like. And this one is ribbon-shaped or tape-like, called tapeworm. And the scientific name is Tinea. One is Tinea saginata or Tinea solium. So this is the shape of tapeworm. This is the shape of tapeworm. Now mind you, in invertebrates, for the first time, head has been formed in them. And the formation of a head-like structure, you can see a head-like structure. You can easily differentiate konta head portion. You can easily differentiate which one is the head portion. So this head-like structure is called, the formation of head-like structure is called cephalization. It's called cephalization. So what is the meaning of the term zation? Formation. Formation of cephalic period, cephalic region. And what is the meaning of cephalization? The formation of head is called cephalization. So for the first time in invertebrates, क्या हो गया बाबू? Head-like structure form किया. कहाँ पे? Inside this platyhelminthes. So cephalization. Okay. Now, can you see these segments? These segments, and mind you, these segments are different. The initial segments are different, and the later part of the body, the posterior part of the body, the segments are different. देखो यहाँ पे segment बहुत बड़े-बड़े हैं. The segments are of large size, and the segments over here are very small sized. And these segments are called proglottids. These segments are called proglottids. So in the initial part, in the anterior end of the body, what kind of proglottids they have? So यहाँ से figure से दिख रहा है कि ये segmented है. Now mind you, you can see one of them is segmented, but over here, fasciola hepatica is not segmented. That means, do you think all the organisms under phylum Platyhelminthes, they are segmented? No. So, if at all they are segmented, think about it. These small segments are called immature proglottids. Immature proglottids. And these large segments are called mature or called as gravid proglottids. They are called gravid proglottids. Clear? Now, what is the mean? Matured. And why they are called gravid? Because basically they have got the sex organs. They have got the sex organs inside them. And they have testes as well as ovary inside these. Each of them, gravid proglottids, they contain testes as well as ovary. That means, can we call them to be metameric segmentation? We have already talked about that. What is called metameric segmentation? Where when some of the organs are present in every other segment in a repeated fashion. अगर ये testis और ovary हर एक segment में रहता तो हम उसे क्या कहते? Metamerism कहते. And they don't show metamerism. What kind of metamerism they show? Pseudo-metamerism. Pseudo means what? False. So we have already talked about that. So what kind of metamerism they do show? They show pseudo-metamerism because testis and ovary are the organs which are not present in the immature proglottids. So সামনের যে সব proglotid আছে, segment আছে, তার মধ্যে কি নেই? What they don't have is testis and ovary. So we cannot call them to be having metameric segmentation. Yes, we can call the same present where? In phylum, come on, Annelida. In phylum Annelida, that means inside earthworm, they have metameric segmentations. So we will talk about that. Fine. Can you see a sucker like this? Fine. A sucker over here. And there is a pore over here called genital pore. We are going to talk about that later. Okay. Let's come back. So this is the idea that you have got. This is a leaf-like and this is a ribbon-like. Let's come back to that particular whiteboard page. Okay. Now, yes. Now, so that is it. So they are dorsoventrally flattened, each one of them, and each one of them, they are dorsoventrally flattened. So now, so phylum Platyhelminthes, they are of two different shape, leaf-like and tape-like or ribbon-like. So leaf-like means Fasciola hepatica, which is liver fluke, and the tape form is Tinea solium. Okay, let us talk about their other aspects. By seeing their figure, what we can make out, what kind of symmetry they show. They show bilateral symmetry. So they are bilaterally symmetrical. That means we can divide the body into two equal halves in only one plane. So they show bilateral symmetry. Any issues about that? Very good. What about their coelom? Mind you, it's very, very important. Whenever we talk about phylum Platyhelminthes, they don't have any coelom, so we call them to be acoelomate organisms. Acoelomate. A means without, they don't have any coelom. उनमें क्या नहीं है? They don't have body cavity. So between body wall and gut wall, अगर ये body wall है, if this is a body wall and if this is a gut wall, they have got some of the non-cellular structures called mesenchyme. क्या है यहाँ पे? They have got mesenchyme. Fine, so we call them to be acoelomate. It's a very, very important one. Mesenchyme. So they are mesenchyme. They have got mesenchyme. Acellular structures called mesenchyme. Fine. So that is very, very important in them. Acoelomate, and they have got what kind of level of organization? They have got organ level of organization. See, इसके पहले क्या पढ़े थे हम? We talked about phylum Ctenophora. They have got tissue level of organizations. But what about them? They have organ level of organizations. Now, but still organ system नहीं हुआ यहाँ पे. So they have got organ level of organizations. Acoelomate, organ level. And also very, very important, they are diploblastic or triploblastic. They are triploblastic organisms. So they have got three germinal layer in the form of ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Tell me, in the very first class we have talked about ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. How we can get the idea about the organs arising from different germinal layer. Remember the term called NC2ED RRES. Very good. Yes. What is N? N for nervous system. That means from ectoderm, the nervous system grows. From mesoderm, C2ED. What is the first one? The first C is circulatory system. What is the next C? Connective tissue. The next C is connective tissue. What is E stands for? Excretory system. What is D stands for? Digestive system. So these are the different types of organ system which develops from the mesoderm layer. And what about endoderm? R for reproductive system, and res for respiratory system. Develops from where? Develops from the endoderm layer. So they are basically triploblastic. So in nutshell, again to repeat, they are acoelomate, they are bilaterally symmetrical, and they have got organ level of organization, and they are triploblastic. This is what we have talked about them. They are triploblastic. Let us talk about some special features about them. Yes. When we talk about their digestive system is incomplete. Their digestive system is incomplete. That means, what is the meaning of incomplete digestive system? Who will tell me? What is the meaning of incomplete digestive system? What is the meaning of complete? Having mouth and anus agar do terminal end pe hai. But they don't have that. Because they lack what? Very, very strong point, no anus. They are not having any anus. That's a special point. So if they don't have anus, can we consider them to be under complete digestive system, or we are going to call them to be incomplete digestive system? So digestive system is incomplete because they don't have anus. Very, very important point. And then when we talk about digestive system, they have no anus. Their digestive system is incomplete. When we talk about helping, can we expect circulatory system in them? Can we expect circulatory system in them? Achha, what kind of organism are they? They are mainly parasitic. They are mainly parasitic. And they are mainly parasitic, and some of them are free living. Some of them are free living. What is the meaning of free living? They don't depend upon other organisms for their food. They don't depend upon other organisms for their food. So we cannot call them to be what? We cannot call them to be completely parasitic. So some of them are free living. But mainly parasitic means what? Parasitic means what? They can be endoparasites. They can be endoparasites, and also they can be exoparasites. Ectoparasites. Ectoparasites. What is endoparasites means? They are present inside the body. And what is the meaning of parasite? Who's going to define parasite? What is the meaning of parasitic? Come on. I think we can expect this answer. What are parasites? How to define parasites? Parasites are those organisms which depend upon other organisms for what? For food, shelter, and reproduction. And then what? And what? They should be of same species or different species? They should be of definitely different species. So there's a perfect definition of parasitism. So mainly they are parasites. They are parasites. If we talk about their nervous system, as because they have got a head-like structure, they have got cephalization, means they have got head-like structure. So their nervous system is, what kind of nervous system they have got? They have got ladder-like nervous system. So if this is head, from the head, they have got some ganglion, and they have got these two longitudinal nerve cord, and these two are longitudinal nerve cord, and this is the ganglion that they have got. And why we call them to be ladder-like? Ladder moton keno boli, because they have got some transverse cords also connected with the longitudinal one. A very basic type of nervous system they have got, and that is called ladder-like nervous system. So their nervous system is little bit what? A little bit advanced. So they have got ladder-like nervous system. Now, when we talk about their different types of what is the sex of them? Their sex is what? They are monoecious or dioecious? Monoecious means one single body having both the sex. So one single body having both the sex. Single body having both sex. Fine. So if they are monoecious, what kind of fertilization they show? Internal or external fertilization? They show internal fertilization. Okay. And sexes are separate or not separate? Sexes are not separate. So no sexual dimorphism is shown. No sexual dimorphism is shown. No sexual dimorphism is shown. So that is also very, very important about them. Yes. What about their excretory system? Their excretory system is what? Their excretory system is by the help of excretory system is mainly they have got flame cells. Why flame? Because just At the anterior part of the flame cells, they have got some ciliated structures. And when they secrete something, the cilia, they move like this and they look like flame. Got the point? And that's why they are called flame cells. So the excretory system, the excretory organ is flame cells. Fine? That is the excretory organ or excretory system or excretory organ is flame cells. Now, if we want to classify, what kind of reproduction they show mainly sexual reproduction. It goes without saying. They normally show sexual reproduction. Now, if we classify phylum Platyhelminthes, we can classify them into three different classes. The first class is class Turbellaria. The second one is Trematoda. And the third one is Cestoda. Okay. What is the first one? Turbellaria. Turbellaria, they are free living, so they are not parasitic. They are free living. And they are free living. Fine. They are free living. And Turbellaria, the example of them is Planaria. And I think we have heard about Planaria many a times ago. Why? And for what we can remember Planaria for? Regeneration. They show the highest level of regeneration. So that's very important. So Planaria, remember it looks like this. Fine. They look like this. Planaria. And if you cut them into pieces, this piece is going to make the rest half part of the body. The middle part is going to make the upper part and the lower part, and this part is going to make the rest part of the body. Planaria. So they are free living. So they come under Turbellaria. They are not parasitic. They are not parasitic. That is very, very important aspect about them. Clear? When we talk about Trematoda, basically under Trematoda, so they are parasitic. And what kind of parasites are there? They are mainly leaf-like. Now, when we talk about leaf-like, the first example under Trematoda is Fasciola hepatica. Comes under this, which is called as a liver fluke. Now, mind you, when we talk about liver fluke, that means definitely the color of the shape, they are present on the liver. And they complete their life cycle. To complete their life cycle, they need another organism. ওরা নিজেদের লাইফ সাইকেলটা অন্য একটা অর্গানিজমের উপর ডিপেন্ড করে কমপ্লিট করার জন্য। And what is that? That is a pond snail. And the name of the pond snail is Limnia. Limnia is the name of the pond snail. So they complete one part of the life cycle inside snail's body. Clear? Inside snail's body. So that is Fasciola hepatica. And you know what? What is their larva? So when we talk about larva, that means what kind of development they show? Direct or indirect? Some of them they show direct and some of them they show indirect. We are again going to come back over here. Fine. बाद में यहाँ पे फिर से आ जाएंगे. So normally, so this is the Limnia. That is the pond snail. Inside pond snail, they make one larva called Miracidium larva. क्या नाम है? Miracidium larva. So if they have got larva, that means normally Platyhelminthes, they show indirect development. And also some of them, they also show direct development. So it's not exclusively that they show indirect development. So some of them they show direct development also. Okay, now, but majority of them they show indirect. So what is the larva name? Miracidium larva. So this pond snail is a type of intermediate host. It's a type of intermediate host. Clear? Now, so the present where in goat or sheep's liver, and they complete the life cycle by the help of pond snail. There's another example of it. And the example of Trematode, which are parasites and they're leaf-like. What is the example? And the example is schistosoma. Schistosoma. Hematobium. Schistosoma hematobium. This is also called as blood fluke. It is also called as blood fluke. And this can cause a disease in human called schistosomiasis in human. Schistosomiasis in human. It's also called as blood fluke. And mind you, they are also leaf-like. So under Trematoda, the leaf-like organisms, they normally get their place into. Clear? Any issues about this? Yes. The next one is what? The third one. The third class is our class Cestoda. Under Cestoda, what comes up is about the ribbon-like or tape-like organism, and they are, just make a star mark on them. So under Cestoda, what comes up is about, under Cestoda, it is this one organism which comes into play. Come on, what is this? This is tapeworm. So they have got sucker. These are sucker. These are sucker, and they have got hooks associated with the sucker. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, and at the backside 5. This head-like structure is called scolex. So for the first time, they have got a head-like structure. The body is like this. The body is like this. Okay. Now these are the small segments. Come on. What is that segment we talked about? Immature proglottids. Immature proglottids. And in the later part of the body, the segments have been large sized, and these segments are called gravid proglottids. Gravid proglottids. They contain what? Testis and ovary. Testis and say ovary. This is ovary, and say this is testis. So if this is the ribbon-like structure of, what is it? Tapeworm. Now when we talk about tapeworm, normally what is the notion that we have got? There are two types of tapeworm. One is pork tapeworm, and the one is beef tapeworm. Pork tapeworm, the scientific name is Tinea solium. Tinea solium. And they can grow up to 15 meters. They can grow up to 15 meters. That's very, very important. Clear? They can grow up to 15 meters. And this is a ribbon shaped. And being dorso-ventrally flattened, if they are present in our intestine, so वो कैसे intestine में रहते हैं? If this is our intestine, inside intestine, they can remain like ribbon. They are going to fold themselves. They can fold themselves, as because they are not cylindrical, they are ribbon-like. They can fold their body, and they are not going to occupy much of the place. If 15 meters of the length of this tapeworm could have blocked the whole intestine, then definitely this person would have been, this human being would have got the idea, because the person would have started experiencing pain. So think about it. This is how they can fold themselves and they remain inside, and by the help of scolex, they are going to adhere themselves with the wall of the intestine. क्या खाएंगे वहां से वो intestine से वो nutrition ले लेंगे. Clear? Because they are endoparasites. If this particular tapeworm has come from pork, then we are going to call it as pork tapeworm or Tinea solium. Tinea solium. Now, how the life cycle of this pork tapeworm gets completed? What is the intermediate host? The first host is human, where the adult body is present. This is the adult body of the tapeworm is present. And to complete its life cycle, they need an intermediate or secondary host, which we call it as pig. So pig में जाता कैसे है? How this adult body gets inside pig? Now, they have got a special mechanism, and the mechanism is auto or apolysis. Apolysis. What is apolysis? They can break off their body part from the gravid proglottid. Any place they can break off their body part. So কি করতে পারে? Body partটাকে নিজেই খুলে ফেলতে পারে. The moment the body parts comes out, the testis and ovary are also present inside that body part. So it with the cut-off portion of the body part, this human, this part is going to remain inside the human stool. It's going to remain inside the feces of human. So human stool is having now the larva or the egg of the tapeworm. And we know that pig, basically they are coprophagous in nature. They are coprophagous in nature. That means what they feed on is they feed on cow dung, or coprom is not only cow dung. I think this piece of information of cow dung has come from coprophilous fungi named Ascomycetes. Okay. Copro means what? Stool. Copro means stool. So they phagous, so they feed on the stool. Pig feeds on the human stool and gets the larva or egg of the tapeworm. And you know what is the name of that larva? Now I'm naming another larva named the first oncosphere, the second hexacanth, and the third cysticercus larva. The presence of cysticercus larva in the pig's body, or in the pork, if this larva is present inside the pork's body, so the pig meat is called as measly pork. We call that pork as measly pork. বুঝলাম না বল। শুয়োরের মাংসর সেই পোর্শনটায় যেখানটায় cysticercus larva যায় তাকে কি বলা হয়? measly pork. What we call them? measly pork. Any issues? খুশি? Clear? Now, so if we feed on this measly pork and a little bit uncooked, they are not going to die. And mind you, what is the adaptation that these kind of endoparasites have? They have thick cuticle. They have got thick cuticle, and our HCl present inside the stomach and the enzymes present inside the stomach are not being able to digest that thick cuticle. Even they have got a great adaptation that they are going to secrete some anti-enzymes. अगर हमारे stomach में pepsin release होते हैं to digest them, they start secreting antipepsin. So this is what that they can make. Clear? So this is how they can survive in the environment of human intestine. Now, is this clear? Now, okay. So this is about pig. So what is the intermediate host? The intermediate host is pig. Now, let's get into the other one. And the example I talked about is about Tinea saginata. What is the other term for that? They are called as beef tapeworm. Now mind you, Tinea saginata is called beef tapeworm. That means if beef you know, so beef tapeworm is Tinea saginata. And this also comes under what? They are also ribbon shaped or what? They are also called as tapeworm. Mind you, they are also called as tapeworm because their shape is tape. So shape is tape-like. So they come under which class? Cestoda. So just let us just give you this idea. What are the different phylum we have talked about? তিনটে different phylum এর কথা বলেছি. We have talked about 3 different phylum. The first phylum, under phylum there are 3 different classes that we have talked about. The first class is about class Tabellaria, which is free living. Trematoda, they are leaf-like, and Cestoda, they are ribbon-like. Under Cestoda, there are two examples we have talked about. One is Tinea solium and the one is Tinea saginata. Just check it out from your book. What book has got to say? Wait, let me first save this. Yes, do you have any questions? You can ask me. This is Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes, okay? Now, let us check it out from your NCERT. What NCERT has got to say about it? Okay? Phylum Platyhelminthes. What is the piece of information we are going to get from NCERT? Now, yes. So phylum Platyhelminthes, they have dorso-ventrally flattened. They have dorso-ventrally flattened. They have dorso-ventrally flattened body, hence they are called flatworms. They are mostly endoparasite in animals, including human beings. Flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic acylomate with organ level of, think about it, organ level of organization. Hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms. Some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly through their body surface. From their general body surface, they can adhere with the host wall, intestinal wall. Specialized cells called flame cells helps in the osmoregulation and excretion. Sexes are not separate. Sexes are not separate. That means what? Sexes are not separate means what? Monoecious or dioecious? Monoecious, same body, both the sex. Fertilization is internal, development is through many larval stages. But what is another important thing is, it's not like every other tapeworm, every other platyhelminthes, they show larval stages. Some of them, they don't show in larval stages. Some of them show direct development. Planaria, some members like Planaria possess high regeneration capacity, and Planaria is the best example of what? Which class? Turbellaria. Turbellaria. Clear? Examples are Tinea fasciola hepatica. Fasciola hepatica comes under which class? It comes under Trematoda. It comes under Trematoda, and this tapeworm comes under Cestoda. Cestoda. Clear? That's all about phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay? Just have a look on Platyhelminthes. Let me have a little of tea. Yeah. What is the next phylum we have to talk about? Is about Ashhelminthes. Is about Ashhelminthes. Yes. Now, the next is about phylum Ashhelminthes. Phylum Ashhelminthes. Ashhelminthes. Now, when we talk about ash means what? Achha, what is the other term for this? This is also called as Nemathelminthes. Nemathelminthes. Nema means what? Nema means thread. Helminthes, we have already talked about, it is called worm. So they are called as thread worm. And also they are Ashhelminthes means they are round worm. They are round worm. Now, Ashhelminthes, when we talk about them, what immediately comes out in our mind? What comes out in our mind is Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides. In Bengali, ki bola etake? Creamy. Taito, this is creamy. Clear? Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides. Now, Ashhelminthes, Ascaris, when we talk about Ascaris we are used to with this. Huh? যখন ছোট ছিলাম কি হতো, তো যখন ছোট ছিলি কি ছিল, একটা ওষুধ দেওয়া হতো 15 দিন অন্তর অন্তর এটা খাওয়ার জন্য। Fine. To get rid of what? Ascaris lumbricoides. What is the disease caused by this? Ascariasis is a disease caused in human. Ascariasis in human. Fine. This is the disease caused by ascariasis. Now, when we talk about roundworm, ascariasis is what? Roundworm. So that means what is their morphology? How they look like? The morphology is the male one is shorter than female one, and the male, they have got pointed ends. You can see the pointed ends, and there's a structure at this part of the end. We're going to talk about that. What is that structure? This is about male ascaris. This is male ascaris. Okay. And what is this pointed end? Along with the pointed end, what is this structure? This structure is called as pineal cytid, which acts as a copulatory organ. It is called as pineal cytid, which acts as copulatory organ. So what kind of fertilization they show? Internal or external? What do you think? If the male is different and female is different, what kind of fertilization you can expect? Female are long cylindrical. See? Long, slender, cylindrical. So the female, they are long, cylindrical and slender and cylindrical body, but they don't have pointed ends. They don't have, and they are normally larger than the males. They're normally larger than the males. Now think about this is about female one. And if there is a structure called copulatory organ, which is called pineal cytid, what kind of fertilization they show? External or internal? They show internal fertilization. They show internal fertilization. What comes immediately in our mind? What kind of body they have? Two different body, two different sex. Two different body, two different sex. So what is the term we are going to use? Dioecious. Very good. Di means what? Two. So two different body. Male body is different. Female body is different. So we are going to call it as dioecious organisms, or dioecious or unisexual organisms. They are unisexual organisms. They are unisexual organisms. Fine. You are live. 43 minutes. কিছু একটা প্রবলেম হয়েছে? Reconnecting. You are live. Clear? হচ্ছে না? Yes. আচ্ছা। Okay. Now this is dioecious. Dioecious means what? Two. So two different body, two different sex. Two different body, two different sex. So male is different, female is different. Now they show internal fertilization. We have talked about that. Now okay, so what we are talking about? We are talking about phylum Aschelminthes, where we know that there are two different types. One is called Ascaris. We know that Ascaris lumbricoides. The second example is about filarial worm. What is filarial worm? Filarial worm is what? It's Wuchereria bancrofti. Wuchereria bancrofti. And what is the disease it makes? It makes what kind of disease? It makes filariasis in our body. It makes filariasis in our body. Fine. And what is the third one? The third one is hookworm. And what is the scientific name of hookworm? Anybody? Have you heard about hookworm? It is called Ankylostoma duodenale. Ankylostoma duodenale. So that is hookworm. Ankylostoma duodenale is hookworm. Okay. Now, so when we talk about phylum, Aschelminthes, what immediately comes to our mind is about pseudocoelomate. About pseudocoelomate. That means they have got false coelom. They have got false coelom. Now, what is the meaning of false coelom? If you remember in the very first class that we have talked about, false coelom kake bola hai? If this is body wall, and this is gut wall, this is gut wall. Between body wall and gut wall, what is present? There are some pouches present of mesoglia. They are not lined by mesoderm. They are not lined by mesoderm. They are not lined by mesoderm. And they are lined by what? A pouch called mesoglia. They are lined by a pouch called mesoglia. So that is very important about Aschelminthes. Okay. Now, what else we have to know about them? For the first time, they show organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. So this is the first organism having organ system. What about Platyhelminthes? They show they show organ level. What about them? Aschelminthes, they show organ system level of organ. They show organ system level of organizations. Now, next. See, when we talk about their nervous system, they have got a brain-like structure, and inside brain they have got ganglion, and they have got longitudinally running, many of the longitudinally running nerve cords. Longitudinally nerve cords, and there are many of them, many nerve cords. This is their what? And over here in the mouth portion, in the anterior portion of the mouth portion, this is mouth portion. In the anterior portion of the mouth, there is circumpharyngeal nerve ganglion, and from this nerve ganglion, what comes out is longitudinally many nerve cords. This is present in Aschelminthes. Got the point? Any issues about this? This is the nervous system. What about circulatory system and excretory system? Do they have circulatory system? They don't have any service. So find it out. Have they mentioned about this? Is any circulatory system or respiratory system is over there? They have no circulatory and respiratory system. They have no circulatory and respiratory system. That is also very, very important about them. What about excretory system? The excretory system is by the help of protonephridia. And they have got some of the cells called rennet cells, which also acts as osmoregulatory cells. So they also help in osmoregulation. So, excretory system is normally protonephridia. They have this protonephridia which acts as a osmoregulatory organ. Clear? And some of the cells called rennet cells are also present over there. Now, these are the most important thing about them. Do they have any? They show direct or indirect development? They show indirect development. Is it exclusive? No. Some of them they also show direct development. Some of this also show direct development. That means when we talk about indirect development, they have got some larval stages, and the larval stages in them is rhabditiform larva. What kind of larva they have? They have got rhabditiform larva. Fine, this is present mainly in Ascaris, and they have got another larva called microfilarial larva. Microfilaria. What is that term called? Microfilaria. Is this clear? So they have got larval stages in the form of rhabditiform and microfilaria. I think that's all we have talked about this. Just check it out what book has said. I don't think we have missed any of the point. Yes. One thing that I must tell it to you is 3 examples or 4 examples. One is ankylostoma, duodenal, ankylostoma duodenal. It's a scientific name of hookworm. There's another example called loa. Loa is also called as eyeworm. Loa is also called as eyeworm. Then there is Wuchereria bancrofti. This is filarial worm. And the last one is about Ascaris lumbricoides. Now, Wuchereria bancrofti, they make what kind of disease? They make a disease called elephantiasis. Or we can also call it as filariasis. Elephantiasis or filariasis. Clear? And in class 12, if you see in the human health and disease topic, you can see a person suffering from elephantiasis, the food becomes elephant food. And the filarial worm, that is the microfilarial larva, they get stuck with the lymphatic duct. And what is going to happen? Lymph is something which is going to get continuously produced. So as because they are produced continuously, ये जो lymph है वो आस्ते से यहाँ पे जमना start कर देगा. So this part of the body is going to become inflated. So the normal legs is going to look like elephant leg, called elephantiasis. Fine. It normally takes place in the lower part of the body, but sometimes it can also take place in the upper part of the body. Name the vector which helps in transmission of this filarial worm. The name of the vector is a mosquito called Culex fatigans. Culex fatigans is the name of the vector. Culex fatigans. So when they bite and they take up the particular filarial worm from the affected person, and then they are going to, if they bite a healthy person, then this filarial worm is going to get transferred. So this is about Culex fatigans or filariasis. So the 4 examples under phylum Aschelminthus. I think you have heard about the class Nematoda. Yes. So mainly Ascaris comes under class Nematoda. Ascaris comes under class Nematoda. So Ascaris lumbricoides. And they are endoparasites. So some of them are free living also. So basically they are endoparasites. And definitely when they are present inside our intestine, they have got the same mechanism like Platyhelminthes they were having. What is that? They can secrete anti-enzymes. Ki release korte pare ora? Anti-enzymes nale amra ki korte parto? Amader enzymes diye amra digest korte partam. We could have easily digested them, but aisa hum nahi kar sakte hain. Why? Because wo kya secrete karenge against pepsin? They will release anti-pepsin. They are thick cuticle. See, they have got a thick cuticle. And this thick cuticle is made up of scleroprotein. The thick cuticle are made up of scleroprotein. protein. Their thick cuticle is made up of scleroprotein. They're very tough. They're very, very tough in nature. Fine. So that's all about phylum Aschelminthes. So let us start with the next phylum called phylum Annelida. Protonephridia. What are they? They are the excretory organs. Protonephridia are the excretory organs that they have got. Excretory organs. Yeah, we can also call it as a tube, but they are excretory organs.
So alimentary canal is complete with a well-defined muscular pharynx.
Very good. They have got well-defined muscular pharynx. So their alimentary canal, they have got anus, they have got mouth, and they have got anus. That means if they have mouth and anus both, what kind of digestive we are going to call them to be? Complete. So they have got complete digestive system with muscular pharynx. Why they have got muscular pharynx? Mind you, they are going to attach themselves with the muscular pharynx. It is going to help in what? They are going to help in drawing the particular nourishment from the body of human. So they do have muscular pharynx by which they can feed on the particular content from the human body. Clear? Any issues? I don't think we have missed any other things. But have a look in your NCERT. Have a look in your NCERT if we have missed anything. Bilateral symmetry is common. So they are bilateral symmetry. Undoubtedly they are going to have bilateral symmetry. Yes. Let us start with the next one, which is what? Phylum Annelida. Phylum Annelida. So when we talk about Annelida, it has come from two words. Annulus, oidos. Oidos means having, bearing. And annelida, annulus means ring-like. Means ring-like. So they are ring-like body. They are ring-like body. The many of the ring-like body. So think about it. If we make it, what comes immediately in our mind when we talk about annelida? Earthworm comes in our mind immediately. So this is earthworm. This is earthworm, and they have got many segments like this. They have got many segments like this. In one of the segment, it's a large one. One of the segment is large one. The scientific name of this is Feridima postuma. Feridima postuma is the scientific name of this. Okay. Now, these are the segments. And each segment they have got, some of the organs present in deliberate fashion. Who is going to tell me what is that organ? We have talked about that earlier also. Nephridia, very good. So they have got an excretory organ, nephridia, and these nephridia are present in repeated fashion. Who is going to tell me? Always tell me. If one of the organ is present in repeated fashion, what we are going to call it as? What kind of segmentation? They show true metamerism. True metamerism. That is, they show metameric. They show metameric segmentation. They show metameric segmentation. Clear? Now this nephridia is excretory organ. Is excretory organ in earthworm. Excretory organ in earthworm. And mind you, there are many of the segments. The first segment is called prostomium. Prostomium. Now, who is going to tell me? Pro, you know. Pro means first. Stomo means what? Mouth. Stomology, study of mouth. So, stomium, prostomium. So, the first segment is called prostomium. Inside that prostomium, there is another structure called peristomium, by which it can burrow. It can burrow the soil, and they are very shy organisms. So by burrowing the soil, they can become the friends of farmers. Why? Because if the soil is having many pore, what do you think? The oxygen is going to be able to reach up to some limit. And if there are pea plant or leguminous plants, they have got root nodules. So by the help of that root nodules, they can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Mind you that they are called as the friends of farmers. Feridima postuma, the scientific name of earthworm. So there are many segments, and you can see one bigger segment over here. This bigger segment is called, clitellum. The bigger segment is called clitellum. It is between 14th to 16th segment. 14th to 16th segment. Okay? And this earthworm is what? Monoecious or dioecious? They are monoecious. They are monoecious. That means same body having both the sex. Same body having both the sex. So they are bisexual. Vishal, is this clear? They are bisexual. They are bisexual. Clear? They have got true cephalization. For the first time, we can again call that they have got true cephalization. So they have got head-like structure. So many of the segments together makes head-like structure. And mind you, their nervous system. Their nervous system. We talk about nervous system, about earthworm. What they have got circumpharyngeal. If this is the prostomium or second, this is the first segment, second segment, third segment. Over there, you can see a circumpharyngeal ganglion. Circumpharyngeal ganglion. And from this ganglion, two solid ventral nerve cord. It generates from the circumpharyngeal ganglion and extends up to the last segment. Highly developed nervous system. Highly developed nervous system. You should give a thought over here in the term ventral and solid, because in phylum Chordata, what kind of nerve cord? Notochord. What is that? Dorsal hollow tubular nerve cord. Dorsal hollow tubular nerve cord. Over here, it's not hollow, it's solid. So chordata, in case of human being, in case of chordates, the nerve cord is hollow and dorsal in position. But in them, they are solid and ventral. Two solid ventral nerve cord are present from the circumpharyngeal ganglion. Now, when we talk about ganglion, you know, ganglions are nothing but the collection of, collection of cytons. Collection of cytons makes ganglion. Two same type of ganglion. See, this is one the shape of the ganglion. This is another shape. And you can see that both of them, they look the same. And there's another ganglion which looks like this. Two same type of ganglion can get connected by commissure. Two different type of ganglion can get connected by connective. So same type of ganglion get connected by commissure. Two different type of ganglion can get connected by connective. That is very, very important, because under phylum Mollusca, we are going to talk something about this, because they have got cerebral ganglion and they have got pedal ganglion. So these two are cerebral ganglion. Cerebral means they are present where? Inside the head, inside the brain. And this is a pedal ganglion. So these ganglion are present inside the muscular foot in Mollusca. We're going to talk about that. So this is what is very important. Two same type of ganglion are connected by commissure. Two different type of ganglion are connected by connective. Okay, let's come back. So this is about what? The type of nervous system that they have got. Yes. Have you ever seen them moving? I think you have seen the leech moving. And the leech or earthworm, when they moves, they first make their body, they first extend their body and then pull their whole body. So that means extension is done by longitudinal muscle. Extension of the body is done by longitudinal muscle. And when they pull the whole body towards that particular portion which has been extended, we call that part as those muscles as circular muscles. So they are longitudinal muscles and circular muscles, and they have got longitudinal and circular muscles in the entire part of the body. This is how they can help in movement. But mind you, the locomotory organ in earthworm is what? It is CT. CT is singular and plural CETA. Okay, this is the structure which is there in earthworm, which helps in locomotion. But in your book, what is most important that in your book they have given about one kind of organism called Nereis. And in Nereis, which is exclusively marine organism, there is also called as Neanthus. They are also called as Neanthus or Nereis. They have got a locomotory organ. Many a times this question has come in NEET, and the locomotory organ is parapodia. That is very, very important. Clear? That is very, very important about Nereis. Is there in your book? You can see. Clear? Okay. Now, let us talk about their excretory organ. Their excretory organ is what? Just now you have said, that is nephridia. And this nephridia, they are present in three main parts of the body. They are present in every septum, called septal nephridia. Then they are present in the pharynx. We call it pharyngeal nephridia. And then there is integumentary nephridia. They are present in the skin, called integumentary nephridia. They are present inside skin. Clear? These are the different excretory organs which are called as nephridia. When we talk about the circulatory system, what kind of circulatory system they have? They have got a closed circulatory system. For the first time, they have got some similarity with human beings. When we talk about the circulatory system, if you compare human with earthworm, if you crush earthworm, what kind of color you are going to have? Red or blue? Red. Why red? Red color occurs due to what? The presence of the pigment called hemoglobin. Yes, they have got hemoglobin. What kind of commonness that we have got with them? They also have closed circulatory system. What is the meaning of having closed circulatory system? You tell me. They have got heart. Along with heart, they have got blood vessels. Along with heart, they have got blood vessels. So the blood flows through what? A tube. The blood flows through the tube, and they have got heart-like aperture. That's why they are called as closed circulatory system. What kind of body plan they have got? According to the body plan, they have got tube within a tube body plan. They have got tube within a tube body plan. That means if we consider this is the body, and inside body there's another tube which runs from mouth to, what is this one? Anus. It runs from mouth to anus. It's called tube within a tube body plan. For the first time, phylum Annelida, they have got this. Phylum Annelida, for the first time, they have got the tube within a tube body plan. Just like human being. They are coelomate or they are true coelomate or pseudocoelomate. They are eucoelomate. They are eucoelomate organisms. They have got true body cavity. Eucoelomate organisms. And that is also very, very important about them. Their respiration, normally they have got moist skin. That means they can respire through skin, and if they respire through skin, we call it to be cutaneous. They show cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous means what? Skin. So they have got moist skin, and they don't have thick cuticle. Mind you that. They have got thin cuticle. Fine. So this is about them. And they have got larval stage. Class 12. They have got larval stage. They have got larval stage. They have got larval stage. And this larval stage is called trochophore larva. Trochophore larva. They have got trochophore larva. So what kind of larval stage they have? They have got trochophore larva. So they have got indirect development. They show indirect development. They show indirect development. Any issues about this? Clear? Now, if we classify them, we can classify phylum Annelida. We can classify phylum Annelida into three different classes. Phylum Annelida into three different classes. Number one, we can classify them under the first one as Polychaeta. Polychaeta. What is poly? Poly means many. Chaeta means what? Segments. So they have got many segments. Example, this is the best one, Nereis, also called as Neanthis. The second one is Arenicola. And the third one is Chaetopterus. 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 This comes under phylum Annelida. The second one is Oligochaeta. So they are exclusively marine. Oligochaeta. Oligo means what? Oligo means fewer. So they have got fewer segments. And the example of that is Feridima postuma. Feridima postuma. This is the example of that. So they are mainly burrowers. Feridima postuma. They are mainly burrowers. Postuma. They are not marine. They are not marine. Come down over here. The last one is called Hirudinea. 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 And under Hirudinea, one of the example is Hirudinaria. Hirudinaria granulosa. Granulosa. It's the scientific name of what? Hirudin. Scientific name of leech. Scientific name of leech is Hirudinaria granulosa. Is this clear? We can also give one other example of mega Oligochaeta is Megascolex. Megascolex is another example under Oligochaeta. Clear? So just if you check it out, definitely they show bilateral symmetrical, they are organ system level of organizations, they are triploblastic. These are very basics because they are eucoelomate. They are eucoelomate. They have got true body cavity. The body cavity is lined by mesoderm. Any issues about that? With this, we have been able to complete phylum Annelida. What we have to do is, we have to just go through the particular NCERT book and see what has been given over there. But some of the information that you have got extra is very, very important to crack NEET. That's all for today. If you got any doubt, you can ask me. Yes? Any questions? No questions. That's all for today then. Sure. That's it.